Welcome back, everybody. So today we are taking a closer look at my setup and modifications that I've done to my 12.5 Slayer MAX. Stick around, let's get into it. Native Slayer Propel MAX 12.5. Ended up getting this kayak in I want to say it was 2021, 2022, can't really remember, but it's been a couple years. Wanted to rig it out and just make it just a fishing machine, and that was the purpose behind this whole build. So what we're going to do is we're going to work our way from the bow to the stern. I'll go over everything that I've done, maybe to help one of you guys out, how you want to set up your kayaks. All right, so first things first, starting at the bow, we have the XI3 MotorGuide Trolling Motor here, and this thing has done a pretty awesome job. The main reason why I ended up picking this up was due to the anchor lock that I was able to use. So I'm able to lock myself down on the water, fish a spot without the wind pushing me around everywhere. So biggest thing I was trying to figure out was how to deploy this thing without having to jump on the bow of the kayak and pressing this lever. So after looking on YouTube for a while, I ended up seeing a couple people actually using this technique or this modification, and all it is just a little S carabiner, drilled a little hole through there, able to attach it and take it off when I need to, and then this thing is routed with 550 cord back here to a handle. I'm able just to pull the handle, grab this handle, and slowly lower the trolling motor into the water. Attaching this came off the Active Target system, so I didn't end up needing this piece because I've done something else, which we'll go over here in a second. But this allows me to pull this thing back up and lower it into the water. Quick disconnect for battery and power. Ended up drilling a hole through here, so I'm able to take that off when I'm trying to remove the trolling motor, and then when I need to put it back on here, I can just plug it in. So, and then this runs all the way to the back where my power source is. Additionally, I added some navigation lights because I do go out pretty early in the morning before it gets light out. That way I'm legal. These were just off Amazon. Ended up putting a catchboard holder here just to be able to hold my catchboard if I did do tournaments, which I have not done in a really long time. So I haven't really used this much, a couple times, but it's a perfect little area to store my board and easy access. All right, moving down, the propel drive, which I don't use as much as I used to because I have this obviously, and this kind of is my main movement device per se. The problem I was having using the XI3 trolling motor was getting a lot of water coming through this piece here. So what I ended up doing, and Native sells these, I got it tied down there, but Native sells this cushion that goes underneath and is held in by these little tabs, and it prevents the water getting pushed from the trolling motor underneath the kayak and coming back up here. And this thing actually works very well. I've had the kayak in pretty white cappy, watery conditions, going full speed, and no water pushes through there. So if you're planning on running an XI3 trolling motor, or you currently are, I'd highly look at that little foam piece that goes in the center here where the propel drive goes into. Here I have my Active Target. So don't use this as much as I thought I would, but I have used it a couple times, and the way I have it set up here is pretty awesome. It's easy to rotate, easy to maneuver. I did use another mount previously, and I just was not a fan of it because it was attached by one of the Yak Attack ram balls, and it was too flimsy, and that's why I ended up going with this fishing specialties mount for the Active Target, and this thing is pretty sweet. Additionally, it's got the rod kind of tell me what direction I'm pointing, so if I do see something, I use that, this handle as kind of a guide on where I need to cast. Below here, I got my Native mounting plate. This is where I have all my controls pretty much to all my lights, my sonar, my Active Target. Everything is wired to this yak power module. For the sonar, since I am running active target, I did need to run a couple more cords. So I ended up getting some yak attack hole throughs. And everything is controlled here. Hit the power. Number one is my sonar. Number two is my active target, my bow lights, stern lights, and my middle lights, which I have yak power here, here, back there, and back there. So I'm able to illuminate everything inside the kayak. So underneath the seat, you'll have a little box that I use with just some miscellaneous stuff, a little rag to wipe my fish finder screen, some sunscreen, extra batteries, extra leader line, my scale, and just miscellaneous equipment, hooks. And this is all stowed underneath my seat. Another thing I keep underneath the seat is this little KVD bag. I love these little bags. I got like a ton of these. But keep a bunch of different soft plastics in there, some creatures, craws, and just different types of soft plastic baits. They go with the Burley Pro handle. This thing's pretty sweet. Again, I don't use this as much as I used to because I'm running that with the remote. All right, moving on back. Here I ended up getting the native double rod holder to be able to put my rods into here. And I also transport 2 rods on each side. That way I'm not putting all these rods in my truck. They're already on the kayak. I'm good to go. I can drive on the highway with this thing and they do just fine. They don't come off or anything. So on this side, same thing, my graph, and I have it on one of these paddle holder mounts. And it's pretty awesome because it pushes the paddle out a little bit, allows me to still use this track system and have some space to be able to put my rods on the side. And then I always take a paddle with me no matter what, if I'm using the XI3 Trolling Motor or my Propel drive. But moving back here by the seat, I do have a pair of fish grips. If I do need to throw a fish on here, throw them back in the water, let them chill out for a little bit. And my pliers, nothing special. On the back here, I keep my native Watercraft extra little storage on the back seat. And here I have some other stuff here. I got my crankbaits in there, keep some buffs on there, my gloves, and then sometimes I'll just stuff miscellaneous gear in there as I'm fishing. Back here, I absolutely love this thing. Big upgrade from the previous one. And keep all my tackle in here. Like I said, I love these KVD bags. Pretty awesome. Usually when I go out, I like to run anywhere from 6 to 8 fishing poles. Just depends on the day and how I feel and what time of year it is. But usually I'm rocking about 6 poles. Like I said, I keep 4 here. I take those 2 off when I get to the water just because it interferes with a lot of stuff on the left side and throw them in these tube holders. On this side, this is kind of where I run my camera stuff. Got a USB-C cord that runs into here, and then when I have my GoPro running, I just plug it in onto a power source, keep it in this box to avoid getting wet, and then have my camera set up literally right behind me over the shoulder view. So here's the battery. This has the Dakota Lithium 100 amp hour battery in it. Super awesome battery. I've literally ran this thing all day long with the trolling motor up front, and this thing has never died. Way I got it attached are these plugs right here, which run into here through one of these hole throughs that go all the way to the kayak to that front plug. So this thing's good to go. Never had any problems. The way I secured this back here is I had these straps laying around, and I just got a couple of these little yak attack strap things and just ran it through, and I mean this thing's in there pretty secure. It's not going anywhere. One of the last modifications here is the Burley Pro rudder kit. I got this before I got the actual trolling motor. So like I said, now I rarely use the steering because I'm always just using that, running that XI3 trolling motor 90% of the time. So on the stern of the kayak, just run a little flag and a little light source if I'm headed out super early in the morning or coming back late, so nobody's going to rear end my kayak. But Lastly, I got it sitting on a trailer. This is a jet ski trailer that I ended up purchasing for super cheap. Had to do a little restoration work on it and some modifications to be able to fit this thing, but this thing is just super awesome. I can literally just back this thing up, put my tackle trunk, put my trolling motor on, slide it in, go park my truck, jump in the kayak, and I'm ready to fish. So what I ended up doing is I used this conduit to be able to secure my Schedule 40 PVC pipes that the kayak sits on. So there's two. There's one here and one here. This thing slides right on and slides right off. Additionally, I put some extra bunks on there to kind of just help it sit right because it does wobble back and forth a little bit without those bunks. But put it on this aluminum conduit that I believe electricians use, and put little U brackets on all sides, and this thing is pretty stable. Super easy, super fast. Love the trailer setup, and I did add trailer guides on the left and right side with PVC pipe just to be able to see when I'm backing up where the trailer is going since it sits so low. But that kind of concludes all the modifications. Well, that will wrap up today's video. If you guys done any modifications to your kayak a little differently than I have, hit that comment section and let me know how you guys did your modifications. Also, hit that like button down below if anything in this video helped you out. Tight lines, and I'll see you guys in the next one.